This is the inside of the Swift Lifestyle 644. If I firstly move to the main control panel, I can turn the 12 volt on just here. Once we've done this, I can turn all of the cabin lights on and off just here, and then they can also be turned on and off on their own individual switches. Next we have view levels. So we have condition of leisure battery, condition of vehicle battery, how much water is in the fresh tank and how much water is in the waste tank. After that we have water pump on and off. At the moment when I turn the water pump on, we will get an alert because we are virtually out of fresh water, and to silence that alarm just press view levels again. We need the water pump on so we can get water out of the taps and fill the boiler if it has been drained down. Awning light on and off just here, and it will indicate up here when it is on. We then have a light here indicating that we are currently using the leisure battery, and another light here letting us know that we are connected to main supply. We can also, on these two buttons here, switch between the two batteries. So if I now press vehicle, you'll see we've now switched over and we're running the back end of the motorhome now off this battery. This can be useful in an emergency, but should not be done all of the time. But also if you are hooked up to main supply, whichever battery you have selected on here is the battery you are charging whilst you're hooked up. If I now move down to the travel seats just here and remove the cushion, and I now lift up, you will see that we have some storage in here, and then we also have the location of the consumer unit. So underneath this flap here we have the mains trip switches. So we have the 3 individual MCBs just here, the main RCD and test button. They are numbered up and then correspond on the sticker just here. So if anything is not working on main supply, just check to see if you've tripped at this point here. Next we have the 12 volt fuses, and again they are numbered up and correspond on the sticker just here. So if anything is not working on 12 volt, just check to see if you've blown a fuse. We then have buttons just here, and these are isolator switches for components that require mains electricity. So you'll see we have 2 amber ones there, one for the water heater and one for the space heater. So if these are turned off, I will now no longer be able to heat hot water on mains electricity, and I will not be able to use the space heater on mains electricity. So quite frankly, these can just stay in the on position because they are more for maintenance than anything else. Next we have the battery charger on and off. Battery charger is just here, and again we want this turned on because we want to be able to charge the batteries when we're hooked up to mains supply. Next we have reverse polarity indication. You can sometimes get reverse polarity on some continental sites. Buttons just here are more for the workshop, but if I press select, I can get a reading of the leisure battery and a reading of the vehicle battery and how many amps we're currently using. Full system shutdown just here. So if you're planning on not using the motorhome for a long period of time, you can press this black button and it will shut down the back end and kill any residual draw on the leisure battery. We then have the over cab bed just here. So just pull down to drop it. See, we have the ladder up there that just clips onto these 2 points. We then have the netting underneath here, that can then clip up onto the clips. Automatic fridge just here, on and off. And then if you want to run the fridge on mains electricity, just make sure that the picture of the 2-pin plug is highlighted. If you do not have mains supply, you can run the fridge on gas and just press the little picture of the flame. These particular fridges will self-ignite themselves, so nothing else is required. If it fails to light, it will begin to beep and you'll get a red flashing light just here. This works as a gas reset button, so it will then try and relight itself again if you press the button just here. And then lastly, we have 12-volt maintain, which is what we have it on to keep the fridge cold whilst the motorhome is on the move. So if I press this at the moment, we will get a beeping noise because the engine is currently not running. We would also get this noise if we were trying to run it on main supply and we had no mains connected. Temperature control just here, and then just push down to open the door, and then we have the removable freezer box just there. Hob just here, and it is just a matter of push in, twist and press the igniter. And then directly beneath that we have the oven and the grill. Storage beneath, but you will also find some of the gas isolation taps for the motorhome. They are colour coded and correspond on the sticker just there. They are all in the on position, and quite frankly I say that they can stay like this. They are more for maintenance than anything else. If you do smell gas in the motorhome, go to the source and turn off the gas bottle. Across the way from this we have the fire. If you were going to use this on gas, it's just a matter of turning the dial just here, holding it down and pushing the igniter at the same time. When you let go, you should hopefully be able to hear a whoosh to let you know it's lit, but you can also peer for the pilot light to double check. It's not the easiest thing to see. And then regardless whether you were running this on main supply or gas, this side here controls the circulation fan that will then blow air out of the air ducts around the motorhome. Top dial is fan speed, and then just turn the fan down to M. If you turn it up to this one here, the fan will run faster, and it will do absolutely nothing on A, because this stands for automatic and you do have to have an additional thermostat added. To turn it back off gas, just turn it back round. If you want to run the fire on mains electricity, just come around to this point here, and you'll see we have an inner dial and an outer dial. The outer dial is currently on off, and you can run it on 3 different power settings. So we have 500 watts just here, 1 kilowatt, and then 2 kilowatts. So this is all just dependent on the amperage of the site you're on to try and avoid tripping. Control the temperature on the inner dial. For hot water, it is all done just down here. And you'll see that one has 230 volts on it and the other one doesn't. So this one here is for hot water on main supply, and this one here is for hot water on gas. If you're going to be heating your hot water on gas, firstly make sure that the flue cover has been removed on the outside of the motorhome, and then you'll see that this is a rocker switch, so if it's in the middle it's off. If I now flick it up, I'm now heating hot water to 50 degrees, and if I flick it down, it's heating hot water to 70 degrees. If it fails to light, a red light will appear. Directly beneath it, hot water on main supply, and again flick it up, hot water at about 50, flick it down, hot water at about 70. Inside the wardrobe, you'll find the tabletop and poles that can then drop into the two hold sections in the floor. And then also in here is the television aerial. So at the back here we have the digital amplifier for it, on and off, just on the top, and then control the boost just here. To raise the mast, just undo the collar and push up, and then get the aerial into the position that you require, and then lock it back into place. This green window here represents the back of the aerial, so that way you can work out which way the aerial is pointing, and the H stands for horizontal. You can flip the aerial into a vertical position for more additional tuning if required, and to do this you just need to turn the tail. But do make sure that the aerial is back in the horizontal position and that it is down for travel. Washroom just here. So we have the shower just here, and then we have the pull down basin. And then the Thetford toilet. To open to the cassette, just slide the lever across, and then blue button to flush, and then close back up again. If this has been left open and you try to remove the cassette from the outside, it will not come out, so if you do feel resistance, just make sure that nobody's left this open. And then we have level indicator just here, and this will illuminate when the cassette needs emptying. If I now come to the lounge area and just remove the cushions, you'll see that if I lift up here, we have storage. We have the back of the leisure battery box just here, and the main 12 volt fuse off the battery. Tucked in the corner here is the Truma boiler itself. And to drain the boiler down for winterization, it is just done on the yellow lever here. So before draining the boiler down, make sure the water pump has been turned off, and then just flap the lever up like so, and then it will drop all the water out of the boiler. I always suggest that if you are fully winterizing it, once you've opened this up, go around and also open up all of the taps in the motorhome as well, because this will release any airlocks in the system and help it drain down more efficiently. When it comes to refilling the boiler back up again, close all the taps in the motorhome. Make sure this yellow lever is flapped back in the position it is now. Fill up the fresh water tank, turn on the control panel, and then turn on the water pump, and it will begin to refill the boiler. Let it run for a few minutes and then begin opening up all the taps. They will then cough and splutter as they force the air out of the system. Once the water is running freely on both hot and cold, reclose and the system will fully reprime itself. If I now come across to the other side, we have the location of the fresh water tank, and to drain the fresh water tank down, we just need to unscrew the cap just here, and then find the chain, run your hand down the chain to the bung itself, and then pull the bung out and it will drain off. Never try to pull the bung out by pulling the chain, because they are very tight fit and you run the risk of snapping the chain itself. The rear bed is nice and easy to make. Firstly, just pull the slats out, remove this cushion, and then drop the other cushions into place, and also use the infill just like so. Omnivent fan just here, and to use this, firstly wind the roof vent open, and then once you've done this, the middle button turns the unit on, and then we have arrows out for extraction and arrows in for cooling, and it's variable fan speed just by pressing. Do make sure that all roof vents are down for travel. As you can already see, both driver and passenger seats do swivel round, and they swivel on the lever on the side. Backwards and forwards on the lower lever, and then they are also height adjustable on the two levers just here. Silver thermal screens clip on to the side windows, and then there is a pull across main blind.